Good morning, everybody, and thank you all for joining us today on a press conference that will speak on the next steps following the Bull water notice. Today, Mayor Dr. Victor Trevino, alongside city management and others, representatives from all over our city, will outline the measures being implemented to maintain water services, provide information about the economic relief being created for residential and commercial water accounts, including but not limited to also federal SBA programs. Mayor of the City of Laredo, Dr. Victor Trevino, will begin the press conference, but before we continue, we ask the members of the media to hold any questions until after the press conference concludes. I will now pass the microphone to Mayor Dr. Victor Trevino to give an update. Mayor.
Good morning, Dr. Victor Trevino, Mayor for the City of Laredo. As we move out of the water bowl notice, now begins the next phase of confronting our water infrastructure and safety. As mayor, it is important to give the people accurate information. We need to follow science and the data. I also want to caution the public that there is a lot of misinformation out there from the people that want to take advantage of your fears. As a community, I believe that we need to be concerned, but we also need to move forward with solutions based on facts. I want to reassure that most of the city did not test positive, especially most of South Laredo. The concentration of these impacted areas were in the central Laredo area, where some of these sites had illegal connections to our water system. The way regulations are written, once you have two positive tests, it forces the entire city into a boil water notice, even in the non-impacted areas. I want to reemphasize that we need to put safeguards in place to protect our water system. So for this reason, I will be proposing 5 items to the city at the next regular city council meeting. When it comes to illegal connections, since there were over 200 violations found just in the central Laredo area alone, I believe it stands to reason that there are many more in the city. Several of these illegal connections, investigations, especially in the sites that E. coli was found, were at locations the owners were unaware or did not understand the consequences. It does not mean that we're not going after the most egregious violators. However, I am requesting the city manager to create an amnesty program where people who know or believe that they may have an illegal connection to report it to the city, and there will be no fines or penalties, and they will have time to fix it. When it comes to rebates to the community, I will be requesting that the City Council pause or eliminate funding on non-essential projects and place these funds in rebates to the community. I want to reiterate that some of my council members that this is not a handout. This is a basic respect and customer service to our people. People were not given the service that they expected, and we need to make it right. In regards to assistance to local businesses, I will be requesting that the City Council approve assistance to the local businesses that were impacted. I know the city manager has programmed around $500,000 to be used to start this program. So I do expect the application process to start once the city approves this program. I do have Melissa Peña here representing Congressman Cuellar's office, who have assisted us with getting the SBA Disaster Relief Program involved, along with the White House. I thank them for that. And as soon as I reached out to them, they answered the call immediately. Now, along with Monica Martinez representing the Laredo Chamber of Commerce, who is also assisting the city in gathering the economic loss numbers from our local businesses. They will be giving some information shortly. Regarding proper staffing, I have requested from the city manager to gather information from the disaster event and come up with a plan of action with regards to staffing shortages, especially on the side of inspectors and the utility director, making sure that we have qualified people in the correct positions. In regards to public engagement, I will be requesting that the city manager schedule a series of town hall meetings throughout the city to hear from the public and inform them of our progress. So this will be the beginning of the next phase, and I want to let the public know that we will be having more information as we move forward through this process. Now I will say it in Spanish. Buenos días, doctor Treviño, alcalde de la ciudad de Laredo. A medida que dejamos a través el aviso de hervir el agua, comienza la siguiente fase de confrontar nuestra infraestructura y la seguridad hídrica. Como alcalde, es importante brindarles al pueblo la información precisa. Es necesario seguir la ciencia y los datos. También quiero advertir al público que hay mucha información errónea de personas que quieren aprovecharse de los medios de comunicación. No se dejen. Como comunidad, yo sí creo que debemos preocuparnos, pero también debemos avanzar con soluciones básicas y los hechos. Quiero asegurar que la mayor parte de la ciudad no dio positivo. No había pruebas positivas. Especialmente la mayor parte del sur de Laredo. La concentración de estas áreas afectadas se encontraba en el centro de Laredo, donde algunos de estos sitios tenían conexiones ilegales a nuestro sistema de agua. La forma de que estas escritas, las regulaciones como están escritas, al haber 2 pruebas positivas, obliga a toda la ciudad a recibir un aviso de hervir el agua. Incluso hay áreas que no han sido afectadas. Quiero volver a enfatizar que debemos implementar medidas y salvaguardias para proteger nuestro sistema de agua. Por esta razón, propondré 5 puntos a la ciudad en la próxima reunión del Cabildo. En lo que respecta a las conexiones ilegales, dado que se encontraron más de 200 infracciones solo en el área central de Laredo, creo que es lógico que haya muchas más en toda la ciudad. Varias de estas investigaciones, estas conexiones ilegales, especialmente en sitios que se encontró el E. coli, se realizaron en lugares que los propietarios no sabían o no entenderían las consecuencias. Esto no significa que no habrá sanciones a las infracciones más flagrantes. Sin embargo, estoy solicitando al administrador de la ciudad que cree un programa de amnistía donde las personas que saben o creen que pueden tener una conexión ilegal lo denuncien o lo reporten a la ciudad. No habrá multas ni sanciones y tendrán tiempo para solucionarlo. Hablando de reembolsos a la comunidad, solicitaré al Consejo Municipal que suspenda o elimine la financiación de proyectos no esenciales en la ciudad y coloque estos fondos en reembolsos a la comunidad. Quiero reiterarles a algunos de los miembros de mi consejo que esto no es fondos sin límite. Es respeto básico al servicio al cliente y al público, que no recibió servicio y esperaban algo mejor y debemos corregirlo. Asistencia a las empresas locales. Solicitaré que el ayuntamiento apruebe la asistencia a las empresas locales que se vieron afectadas. Sé que el administrador de la ciudad ha programado $500,000 para que se utilicen como punto de partida para este programa, por lo que espero que el proceso de la solicitud comience una vez que el ayuntamiento apruebe este programa. Nos acompaña Melissa Peña en representación de la oficina del congresista Henry Cuellar, que nos ayudó a conseguir la participación del programa de ayuda en caso de desastre de la SBA. Y junto con la Casa Blanca, les agradezco por sus esfuerzos. Asimismo, Mónica Martínez, en representación de la Cámara de Comercio de Laredo, que está ayudando con la ciudad y para recopilar las cifras de pérdidas económicas de las empresas locales. En breve brindarán más información ellos. Hablando de personal adecuado, les he pedido al regente y a la ciudad que recopile la información de este desastre y elabore el plan de acción con respecto a la escasez de personal, especialmente del lado de los inspectores y el director de servicios públicos, y que se asegure que tengamos personas calificadas en los puestos adecuados. La participación pública. Solicitaré que el regente de la ciudad programe una serie de reuniones municipales en toda la ciudad para escuchar al público y el pueblo e informarles sobre nuestro progreso. Por lo tanto, este será el comienzo de la siguiente fase y quiero que el público sepa que tendremos más información a medida que avancemos con este proceso. Muchas gracias.
Thank you, Mayor. Now we will hear from also our city manager, Mr. Joseph Neb, and then we will hear from the other programs that the mayor just spoke about.
Good morning. Joe Neb, Laredo City Manager. Let me begin by saying thank you to all the countless people that have been helping us through this emergency. I cannot speak highly enough about our city staff that worked day in, day out to get us out of the emergency. Their commitment to this city, their commitment to their jobs, I just can't tell you how proud I am to actually work alongside that many great people. And to the mayor and the city council, we appreciate all of their work. Every one of them has been very active throughout this entire emergency, and I cannot tell you how great it is to stand next to them in order to help our community succeed and to get beyond this emergency. The interesting thing about this emergency is that now that the emergency is over, the real work begins. And I think that's where we're going to even see more out of our employees. We're going to see more out of our community as we tackle this into making sure that we make the corrections, make the adjustments within our system. And so I really just wanted to spend a little bit of time going over the 5 items that the mayor has stated, make sure that you understand a little bit more from the city manager's perspective as to how we're going to walk through this. When we speak about the illegal connections and the cross connections and all of the things that contribute to allowing external sources of contamination into our system, know that over 30% of our utilities the lines are over 50 years old or older. And the age of those lines have a tendency to give over time. Anything man-made will wear out. Our intent now is to identify those problem areas and go out and start making those corrections. Of course, we're talking about in the older part of the cities as well too. This is why over time, when people need to make corrections into their homes and make those adjustments, they will go out and get that work done so that they can have water in their home. And so these illegal connections, and every city out there is susceptible to them. We just believe that within Laredo, now that we are discovering the magnitude of the issue, our goal is to help correct that. And so if you look at the small area that we had been, because we've been focusing on the areas where most of the contamination was, we found 200 in one day. We believe that there are more to find. And that takes us into the amnesty program with what the mayor has talked about as well too. We also believe that, again, the urgency of getting water back into the facility is we could cast blame on a lot of different individuals for different reasons and everything, but we believe that it is identifying it is educating our people to make sure that they all understand the challenges that are faced within a system of this nature. Anybody connecting to our system that has not followed the permit processes and everything have jeopardized all of our livelihoods. And so with that, with the amnesty program, we do have contractors out there that get their work done very quickly, and we believe that we need to reinvigorate our permit system and all that. And it's not, again, it's not to cast the blame, and that's why the amnesty program, that's why the rebates are going to be very important moving forward. And we really want to make sure that everybody lets us know, because the most important thing we have to do is to correct the problem. And if we can get to correct the problem, then we can start working into all of the other things about whether or not it was egregious or whether or not it was just an innocent issue. So we will be working on those illegal connections and everything. We have already spoken with the city council about the rebates, and I believe that we have everybody on board with that. I agree with the mayor's interpretation that at least with our utility, if it's not performing to the standards that are set by the mayor and city council, then we need to make the adjustments in order to get there. And so the rebates will be forthcoming in that conversation, and we will help support that. On the assistance to the local businesses, that is something, you know, it's one thing for a residence or to be able to find drinking water to do, but many of our businesses that rely heavily upon quality water have been negatively impacted for that. And the economics help our community go around. They pay for the jobs of our people. They pay for all the things that are happening. And so we've developed this assistance program, and I think you're going to hear some more information today about everybody at the state and federal level that are working to make sure that we are open to all of the programs out there that are going to help us and complement together. It's really exciting to see that outpouring of help. Item number on the proper staffing. We talked about this just a little bit at the recent council meeting, and we will continue to talk about this. The field of engineering is a very difficult field. There are not enough engineers to go around for the private sectors, for the public sectors. But in the conversation that we've had, we will be taking on a very targeted marketing process. We need qualified operators. We need qualified engineers. And so we will be going out, and we're actually going to go door to door. We believe if we can get them to understand what Laredo stands for, what it is, we can actually bring them on board our organization, and we will go there. The secondary side of that is that we also have a lot of contracted help as well too that can help us through this. While it's a little more expensive through a contracted service rather than having our own employees, we believe that will help us over the hump very quickly. So as we put this plan together for the mayor and the city council to see, you'll see those pieces within that. But proper staffing of our utility is going to be paramount to our success moving forward. Public engagement, the mayor talked about establishing some town halls and everything. You know, our first priority was to get through the emergency. And I understand the need for information. I understand the need for making sure everybody understands what's happening. But now we can at least start sharing the information about what all we've learned through the system and where we are going for that. So tentatively, I will be formalizing our first town hall meeting for Thursday, November 7th to begin talking about that. We will be having, of course, next week on October 28th at the city council meeting, we'll be having a conversation at that point in time. And if we back it up even a little farther, the mayor has scheduled a special city council meeting for this Friday to even talk about the ongoing efforts that we have. So I believe that the mayor and the city council have been more transparent with this issue than Laredo has seen in the past. And I can't tell you how important that is to everybody's success and how to keep everything moving forward with that. So with that, I will end my comments there, but we will be putting forward the town hall meetings because I think there's lessons to be learned in every emergency, and if we don't take advantage of what we just went through to make our systems better, then we've not done our jobs. And I believe that we're right there, and this mayor, this city council are pushing and making sure that we are doing everything that we possibly can to ensure that Laredo is safe and it has good drinking water, and that we are doing our job at a high quality. So thank you.
Thank you to our city manager. Now we're going to be speaking more about the federal funding that the mayor alluded to earlier with the SBA program. And so I would like to ask Melissa Peña, representing Congressman Henry Cuellar's office.
Hello, good morning, everyone. I am pleased to be here today on behalf of U.S. Congressman Henry Cuellar. First off, Congressman Cuellar thanks the U.S. Small Business Administration for working with the City of Laredo to help inform businesses of federal resources available to them. The SBA plays a critical role in providing federal resources to small businesses to ensure their continued success. This is why, as a senior appropriator, Congressman Cuellar helped secure $1.1 billion for the SBA in fiscal year 2024. This was an increase of $30 million above fiscal year 2023. It is also why the Congressman's office moved quickly last week to connect the SBA with the City of Laredo in regards to the water boil notice and to help the small businesses in the community. The SBA plays a critical role in supporting small businesses during difficult times such as this. Moving forward, Congressman Cuellar will continue to support the SBA in Congress and work to get them the funding they need to continue to support the small business community. The Congressman will also continue to work with the City of Laredo and the Laredo Chamber of Commerce to help businesses in the community. Congressman Cuellar will also make it a priority to secure funds to upgrade the city's water infrastructure. Thank you again. God bless.
Thank you to Ms. Melissa Peña, and I would also like or invite Monica Martinez, she's the Executive Director of the Laredo Chamber of Commerce, to also expand a little bit more about our businesses locally.
Thank you, Noraida. As we mentioned earlier, and we mentioned at the City Council meeting, the Laredo Chamber of Commerce recognizes the challenges our local small businesses are facing due to the water boil notice. As a result, we are working in conjunction with the Texas Center for Border Economic Enterprise and Development at TAMIU and have developed a survey that has been sent to our membership and has also been shared publicly. If you are a business who has been affected, we encourage you to participate in the survey so that we can gather the correct data to provide the City of Laredo. That is the only way the meaningful data will be able to provide relief to the businesses. As mentioned earlier by Melissa, there is an economic injury form that is available as well, that is also on our website and has been shared via email to our membership. That is separate from the survey, so we do encourage you to submit both the survey and the form, which will in turn be used to provide funding opportunities from the SBA to local businesses. We do recognize that this is an opportunity for improvement, and in this adverse situation, we can pivot and change and work together to continue to drive the economy in Laredo. So again, we just encourage the public to continue to support their favorite local businesses and be patient with our business owners as they adapt to these circumstances. Thank you.
Thank you to the Chamber, and we will be also sharing that survey on our social media platforms as well as on the city website. I also wanted to end this press conference with our council members for District 1 and District 2. We have the Honorable Gilbert Gonzalez and Ricardo Rangel Jr. Please.
Good morning. When we learned about this, about the boil notice on that Thursday, we always knew that most of our city was testing negative. As a matter of fact, the South never tested positive. And I commend, the South and the district, because as of now, we have not found one illegal connection in that area. So when we learned about this, we knew we had to citywide lift the boil notice. So what we did, my neighboring council member and the mayor, we shifted focus. We had no time to play the blame game. We shifted focus to what we had to do. I want to thank management for placing these trailers of water in strategic places, because what was important to us was to get bottled water out to our community, to the children, to the elderly. That was so important to us at the time. We went days, weekends, nonstop doing that. Mayor, the community saw that emergency leadership in you through COVID, and I know you were in meetings at midnight, and I know you were in conference calls by 7 a.m. So that played a big role to keep us informed. That way, our city was, was set at pace and was kept informed. So we thank you so much for that. And again, what we now is the time. Now that we found the problem, it's time to be. I asked my district in the south to be team players and shift focus to the solution, to where the affected area is, and we're going to be focusing and working hard in that area to find all these illegal taps and stuff, to find solutions so this won't happen again. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Good morning, Councilman Rangel for District 2. Like Councilman Gonzalez said, we're happy, we're happy that the boil is over. The mayor played a big role. He came out, helped us out. He was an independent, passing out water bottles along with Councilman Gonzalez. I also want to thank PIO for doing all their job. They getting the other information out there, making sure that all the public was aware where the water distribution was. They did an awesome job. So for us, we're really grateful. We also want to thank the emergency group. They moved the areas once we called. They could have been in McKendricks one day, another day in Independence, and another day in Slaughter Park. So in Slaughter Park, we needed to put a station there, but we put in McKendricks and Independence and LBJ, and also in Loretto College. So they did an awesome job, and I want to thank I want to thank from the Parks and Recs. I also want to thank all Public Works for going out there doing their job. It was hot, and they were distributing water. They were doing everything that's possible to help the community. So I also want to thank District 2 for being patient. Thank you so much. Se los agradece mucho por como son. Se le agradece al Distrito 1 por hacer todo lo mismo. Management, you did an awesome job. Thank you so much. But we also, we got to start working. We're going to work. We're going to find the solution to provide clean water for the community as much as possible, as making sure that everything is up to standards of the community. So thank you so much once again.
Thank you to everyone. Thank you to the council members for those words. And we just want to encourage the community to please stay updated through our official sources, including the City of Laredo website, social media platforms, and also the public notices. This concludes our press conference today. Thank you so much.